Chapter 20. The Fall Incident. The female teacher, with glasses, finished checking the drawings of over a dozen students one by one. She explained each person's mental state and how to ease their inner struggles. I shuddered watching those plain girls gape in shock and cover their faces, exclaiming how eerily accurate the analysis was. Seriously, with their looks, why bother putting on a cute act? The teacher walked over to my desk and stared at my messy, heavily scribbled paper in silence. Spotting the hanging rope I'd drawn on the tree, she asked softly, "Is this a swing?" I froze, unsure how to answer, then forced a smile. It's a swing, but sometimes people use it for hanging themselves too. She fell stunned for a moment, then pointed at the house on the paper and said gently, "The house represents your growth and inner sense of security. The figure stands for your self-image and mental wholeness. You drew the person trapped inside the house, surrounded by venomous snakes outside. It means you fear the outside world, lack security, and live in constant dread of being hurt." Damn, that was spot on. I was genuinely shocked. She then gestured toward the tree. Trees symbolize emotions and how you perceive your surroundings. You've clearly been wounded in love. If you ever feel trapped or hopeless, come talk to me in my office. Don't lock yourself away in isolation. She trailed off mid-sentence, leaving me hanging. I was about to ask her to finish her thought when the bell rang. She left without another word. The classroom emptied quickly, leaving me alone, staring blankly at my drawing. Only years later did I learn that the house tree person test she used was a renowned psychological assessment. It analyzes one's subconscious through freehand sketches with remarkably high accuracy. Anyone curious can give it a try. Back then, however, my stubborn pride stopped me from seeking her out. She transferred to another school in my sophomore year, and I never got the chance. Weekend came in the blink of an eye. I received a call one Saturday night from an old high school classmate named Dong Shanshan. She had been quite outgoing in our art class, and I never knew she was also studying in Harbin. I wondered how she'd got my new phone number. She said we hadn't met in nearly half a year and invited me to her campus for a visit. With nothing to do, I agreed. I took the bus to her school on Sunday morning. Her campus was located in Jiangbei, the northern district of Harbin beyond the Songhua River. A remote area dotted with universities, it was known as Harbin's college town. Winter had fully settled in, with thick frost coating the bus windows, blurring the scenery outside. Couples strolled hand in hand along the streets, and I muttered bitterly at their displays of affection. Looking back, I was clearly consumed by petty jealousy back then. The bus ride lasted half an hour. When I stepped off, I was stunned by the sheer scale of her university, dozens of buildings with complete facilities. I couldn't help but think of my shabby two-building art branch campus. Such was fate. I called Dong Shanshan to let her know I'd arrived. Soon, a familiar figure walked toward the gate. High school and college were truly worlds apart. She had grown far more attractive, or rather, she'd learned to dress well. She nearly walked right past me, proving she was severely nearsighted. Glad to see an old classmate, I whistled and teased her in my old high school tone. "Hey, girl, didn't you notice me? Smile for your old pal." She spun around in surprise, staring at me as if she barely recognized my face. Walking closer, she murmured, "Cui Zhuo Fei, what happened to you?" I almost didn't dare to say hello. My appearance had indeed changed drastically. Messy blue hair, an unkempt down jacket, and an unervingly long pinky nail on my right hand made me look like a delinquent drifter, a far cry from my high school self. No wonder she couldn't recognize me. I let out a bitter laugh. "You're just out of touch. This is the trendiest street style of 2006, mix and match fashion, get it?" Amused by my unchanged attitude, she grinned. "Cut the act. Something's been weighing on you, hasn't it? Come on, I'll treat you to lunch first." Without hesitation, she linked her arm through mine and led me to a campus restaurant. Passers-by shot us strange glances, most assuming we were a couple. Yet their looks held no admiration, only the pity of seeing a fine flower wasted on a worthless weed. So, what if I hadn't washed my hair for 3 days or my pants for 2 weeks? I was this close to picking a fight if Dong Shanshan hadn't been holding me back. We ordered our meal, and knowing I love drinking, she bought 2 bottles of beer to share. Resting her chin in her hands, she studied me carefully and sighed. "How did you end up like this? It breaks my heart to see an old classmate struggling." I drained my glass in one gulp and sighed. "It's a long, bitter story." I told her everything that had happened since I enrolled in college through supplementary admission. She listened with interest at first, but her smile faded as my story unfolded. After finishing my tale, I ordered 2 more beers. Dong Shanshan stared at me with tender sympathy, ready to offer comfort. "You've been through so much. You and Du Feiyu were both good friends of mine. No one's to blame. Love's always been this messy." I knew that well enough. Revenge was never an option. Pouring another drink, I smiled bitterly. I brought this all on myself. It's just my fate. Wait, fate? Could all this truly be destined? I suddenly recalled Uncle Nine's words. Cultivators are cursed with the 5 curses and 3 shortages. Had that karmic misfortune finally caught up to me? The 5 curses included widowhood, spinsterhood, childlessness, orphanhood, and physical disability. The 3 shortages covered wealth, lifespan, and power, none of which seemed to fit my situation. People always blame unexplainable twists of fate on ghosts, gods, or destiny. Yet my life had fallen into such clear ruin with no logical cause, leaving me helpless. I was grateful to Dong Shanshan. It was the first time I'd opened up about my pain since starting college, and I felt a huge weight lift from my shoulders. I decided to stop overthinking it all. As we say in the Northeast, whatever will be, will be. After lunch, Dong Shanshan showed me around her campus. We spotted an old building under renovation, scheduled for demolition to make way for a new swimming pool. It seemed trivial at first, but just as we turned to leave, a sudden scream pierced the air. We whipped around to see a construction worker plummet from the 7th floor of the old building. We froze in shock, helpless witnesses to a fatal tragedy. Have you ever seen a dead body? I have. The first time was back in high school, and I felt no fear at all. Winter dawns late in the north. One morning in my sophomore year, I rode my bike to school early to buy hot soybean milk for Du Feiyu. Passing under an overpass, I spotted a dark figure swinging back and forth atop the bridge. Foolish as I was back then, I paid no mind and hurried to class. That evening, my father told me a woman had hanged herself on that very overpass at dawn. A chill ran down my spine as I remembered the mysterious swinger. Back to the present, a crowd of students and workers quickly gathered, drawn by the commotion. The worker had slipped while removing glass, falling 7 stories to the ground. His body was badly mangled. Many female students fled, vomiting at the gruesome sight, including Dong Shanshan. I hurried over to comfort her. No one could bear such bloody scenes on a full stomach. She recovered soon after and said shakily, "This is terrible. 2 people have fallen to their deaths here in half a month. No one will dare walk this way at night anymore." 2 fatal falls in half a month? I pressed her for details. She explained that the demolition had started 2 weeks prior, claiming the first victim had also fallen from the 7th floor, spreading panic across the campus. Just as things calmed down, another deadly accident occurred. It was undeniably eerie. A strange unease settled over me. I'd felt off about this building the moment I first laid eyes on it. Ignoring Dong Shanshan's murmuring, I glanced up at the 7th floor. The second window from the left felt deeply unnatural, as if some unseen presence lingered there. My cultivation from the 3 purities scriptures sharpened my intuition. This accident was far more than a simple work mishap.